Hi, Eric Lanask here with TMC, coming to you from Cloud Expo in New York. Kevin, glad to have you with us. A lot of interesting cloud conversations this week, of course. I'm sure you've experienced the same. Storage is one of those interesting things that really looks like it's becoming very, very hot in the cloud space.
Well, if you look at what's happened, you have compute, networking, and storage. Compute has exploded. You have x86, you've got mobile, everything's going nuts, and it's all cranking out data. So we're seeing the industry grow about 50% per year of capacity. So you compound that over a few years, or if you look at someone who's growing faster at double or more per year, they very quickly will break all of the old storage ways that they were using. So there's a tremendous need to be able to scale up to what the cloud's doing, to what the big data projects are requiring, and that's where we fit in. We look a lot like what Google or Amazon does on the back end. Very scalable, very elastic, commodity hardware, but we marry that with enterprise class storage features. So it's a real nice mix of those.
So first, why not just add more new local storage?
Well, so there's two ways you can do it. You can either buy more of the big vendors, the big box. The problem is that when you fill it up, it's a forklift upgrade, which is a real expensive and disruptive thing. Now you can use regular old off-the-shelf white box storage, but the problem is it's not well managed. It doesn't have good models for how do you scale it, and it's not dense, it's not high performance. So people are kind of trapped in between the do-it-yourself and the super expensive old stuff. And so we kind of fit in between those with the economics of what a Google or Amazon are doing. I mean, Amazon charges about a nickel per gig per month. We can do that for about 2 cents on an array that will outperform the old, high-end arrays.
What do you do differently from some of the other cloud-based storage vendors out there?
So we are selling storage solutions that power both clouds as well as many enterprises. So we have about 1,500 customers, everything from the Fortune 100 all the way down to some of the cloud players. So Shutterstock here in New York has over 1 petabyte of our storage, and they're using it to run their business for photo hosting and sales. So we're working with a lot of the folks that have just massive data. What's different about us is that we have a much more scalable model, so it's very easy to grow as you go, instead of having to guess and buy a big box and hope you don't fill it up. We are like Lego building blocks, just one piece at a time, and we are doing it in a way that's very unique on the networking layer. We use raw Ethernet. So what this does is it simplifies dramatically the way that you can build and manage massive amounts of data. For the Department of Defense, we did a buy a petabyte, get a petabyte free deal, which is a lot of storage, and we did it for about 1/5, 1/10 the cost of what their last petabyte was, and instead of 12 administrators, they're managing it with 1. So it's a real, both a CapEx and an OpEx play.
So what happens with businesses or service providers who are looking to, who are storing data in multiple locations? How do you connect those?
So increasingly, a lot of the multi-location logic is being built into either file systems or into some of the cloud management systems. So for example, some of the object storage software, we partner with those people that are doing that piece of the puzzle, but what they all need is something on the back end that is very scalable, very high performance. So it's really how do you piece together those solutions, and we work closely with our customers to do it.
Who's responsible for security elements?
So I actually come from the security industry and worked at a lot of cryptography for the DoD, Intel community, et cetera, and a lot of our team did too. So security is not a product, it's a journey and it's a multi-phase process. We have built in a lot of capabilities into our system to be able to carve off and create secure enclaves of storage, but you have to then think about the whole stack and how are you doing security and authentication along that whole stack. So it's really a consultative discussion with the customer of what do you care about, what are you trying to protect against, how do we fit into that security model with something that will be easy to manage.
Excellent, Kevin. And finally, most people probably aren't quite comfortable walking around with pictures of themselves hanging around their neck. You've got a pretty good likeness of yourself. What's the deal with the images? Well,
this is a fun promotion we're doing in our booth, and it's been very successful. People love to see pictures of themselves and their friends, and what it does is it has everyone here, and people are thinking, hey, this is innovative. I haven't seen this at other trade shows. Let me talk to this company. And then they're in line with us, and they're realizing, hey, these guys could really help us. So we've gotten a lot of leads, a lot of deals out of people that stop by just initially to get their photo, sort of photorealistic sketch.
Do you provide them the photo in digital format as well?
Yes, we do. So not only do we print it out for them with our big logo on it, which works well, but then also we put it up online, and so they can use it for their Facebook profile photo. And people like that.
Awesome, Kevin. Thank you. Eric Lanask from Cloud Expo at the Javits Center in New York. To check out my conversation with Kevin, as well as everybody else here at the show, follow my activities on Twitter @elanask.
Very good. That makes sense?